In this video, we're going to share 5 tips to effectively manage depreciation worksheets in class. To navigate to a depreciation worksheet, go to Investments and click on Depreciation Worksheet. Now, there are 2 ways to create a depreciation worksheet on class. The correct way is to set up the depreciation worksheet with all the assets underneath the property. The alternative is to set up the assets separate to the property. You should only set up the depreciation worksheet separately to the assets if they are unrelated to the property. So the benefit of consolidating the depreciation worksheets under the property is that you will make it easier when it comes to disposing the property, as class will automate the CGT calculation. Now, if you have already set it up and the depreciation worksheet is sitting under the assets, there are some user guide pages that you can refer to on how to consolidate this under the property. There are 2 ways to set up a quantity surveyor report efficiently in class. The first one is to use the CSV template. So you can export this template from class and you can copy and paste information if you've already got it in an Excel format into this CSV template and then import it back into class. Alternatively, you can set up an asset for capital works. So in this example, we've got an asset for building and we've got prime costs, 2.5% capital works deduction each year. We also have a second asset set up for furniture and fittings. And with this one, what we've done is we actually click manual depreciation override and input the amount for that particular year. So each year, you would just need to click manual depreciation and put the amalgamated depreciation amount for all the furniture and fittings. If assets are purchased during the year, they need to be capitalized. So they need to first be processed as a capital improvement. Once you've done that, they will appear in the depreciation worksheet and you can click on the Create New button to create the depreciation schedule. You will notice that it will be pre-filled. You just need to update the depreciation details. Once this is correct, then you can save that. It's very important that when you set up a depreciation worksheet, there is $0 remaining as the residual book costs. The residual book cost comprises of the cost of purchase plus any assets that have been capitalized and added to that asset, either as part of the opening balances or through the property purchase screen if it was processed on class. So that means for every depreciation worksheet, you will need to have at least 1 asset that is a non-depreciable. So most people would create this and call it something like land. And what you need to do is once you've set up all of your assets and entered their costs, with the residual balance, you can put that as the non-depreciable component. So in this case, 283,010, and we can copy that as the opening written down value. We also need to make sure that the depreciation type is set to not applicable. Once we save that, we'll see that the residual book costs will be equal to 0. When you sell a property, class is a feature that appears in the depreciation worksheet once you have processed the property disposal deposit event. So if you have set up the depreciation worksheet correctly with all of the assets set up under the property, then if you click this Sell All button, it will automatically calculate the CGT calculation. So it works by allocating the sale proceeds for the assets at their current written down value. So there is no gain or loss on any of the assets, and the residual proceeds are used to calculate the CGT on the property. Now, if you have set up a depreciation worksheet under the assets separate to the property, you will need to manually calculate the CGT, and you will also need to do multiple disposal events to dispose of all these assets. Please refer to the Class Help Centre for more information on FAQs around depreciation. Thank you for watching this video.